Hold the phones, Gypsy ahoy! Or as we call her on this channel, Gypsy whore. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. You're not. I am. Guys, what's wrong with me? Nada. Guys, how you doing? Guys, let me tell you why I'm so happy. Because we can prove it right here, right now, that Gypsy Rose was a legitimately sick youngin'. You know how we can prove it? See this guy here? Dylan. Dylan. So Dylan is Gypsy's younger brother by 4 years. Gypsy was born in 1991. Dylan was born in 1995. And Mia was born in 2001. No. Hold! They look the same age. They're 4 years apart. And girls mature quicker than boys. Gypsy, very, very small. She's like 9-10 years old here. How? What? Huh? She looks like she's about 5 or 6. That's a failure to thrive. That's something that would require the feeding tube. It would require the feeding tube, guys. So, was Gypsy legitimately sick? Yes. They only found out, I believe it was in 2011, that it was the microdeletion of which microdeletion it was. There was a microdeletion, a chromosome disorder. They knew about that. They knew that there was a deficiency. They knew that there was something wrong. But that didn't come right away. So some of these symptoms that Gypsy had might have mimicked other things that could have been things like cancer. Now listen, do I think there was a grift? 1,000%. 1,000% I think there was a grift going on. But I don't think it intentionally happened that way. I think that when Hurricane Katrina happened and Dee Dee said, I'm doing this alone. I got a sick kid and I'm doing this alone. Let us clean everything up and let us go. Let me get my kid away from the stadium. Where was Rod's kids, his other kids? Where were they? I don't think they were in the stadium. And I don't think that they were welcomed to go to where, Rod was. Dee Dee and Gypsy were in the stadium where horrible things were going on. Okay? Horrific things were going on. And Gypsy appeared disabled. How vulnerable do you want somebody to be? So, Dee Dee taking advantage of the situation and saying, man, we could start all clean and maybe I could give my kid some sort of life because I really don't know what's wrong with her. Maybe at that point, she really didn't know. The questions weren't answered at this point. This was 2005. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2005. Hurricane Katrina was 2005. So, Gypsy was born in 1991. She was 14 at this time. And when you see her, in the life helicopter and stuff like that, she looks like an 8-year-old kid. So, okay. But she didn't look 14, right? She didn't look 13. She didn't look 14. She didn't look 14 in there. She looked like an 8-year-old kid. She was failure to thrive. There were legitimate things wrong with her. And Gypsy walking around Munchausen by proxy, which somebody gave her an excuse for as an alibi so that she wouldn't do life in prison. And Dee Dee's reputation is ruined. Yet Dee Dee did whatever she had to do to get her kid safe and to get her kid care. And she didn't know at this point exactly what was wrong and how to fix this kid. And mind you, Gypsy suffered from a lot of things that she would later grow out of. But Dee Dee didn't know that. Gypsy also supposedly lied to Dee Dee about having symptoms in her legs where she couldn't walk. So that's making more of a false claim that Dee Dee's unaware of, saying, okay, my daughter has this, and this, and whatever else Gypsy might have made up in her head to either get something she wanted or not get something. I can't swallow, but I'll have the popsicle, Mom. Give me the popsicle. I can't swallow the broccoli. I can't swallow the peas. I can't swallow the chicken or the meat, but the popsicle, Mom. Who knows what this person was saying to her mom and what her mom was buying into? What we do know for a fact is that these two kids are 4 years apart at an age gap, and during an age in time where there should be a distinct difference between a 10-year-old and a 5 or a 6-year-old. That should be so distinct. And it's not there. We don't see it. We don't see it. So that to me proves, for a fact that Gypsy was failure to thrive, and I can understand, the feeding tube. And we can understand the eye surgery. We can understand the eye surgery. And Gypsy licking her mouth isn't to make her mouth moist. That's not it. It's to clean up excess because of her salivary glands. This stuff was actually documented and proven and shouldn't go under any kind of scrutiny because it's legitimate. But those records are gone, right? So what are we going by? Somebody who wasn't there at all, right? Which would be Christy, because she wasn't there at all. Gypsy, who said she never ever spoke to doctors because her mom was always there, so she had no autonomy, but she'd stay in the hospital by herself and Dee Dee would have to stay home. Gypsy was able to do. Can you imagine Gypsy keeping stum? Not in a million years, not in a million years, and not when her mom had her. Show me which person of ABUSC who actually was and actually was traumatized like that, who's come out here and is living their best life and they just want to be like every average Joe or every average bear. I mean, who else? That's not the way people behave when they are ABUSC'd. That's not strength. That's a lie. That's a friggin' lie. It's a lie. Rod saw the state of his daughter, and unfortunately he didn't think it was important enough to keep tabs on her because he lost track of her basically when they moved to Missouri. Dee Dee was in it alone. So yeah, Dee Dee took advantage of things. There was a grift going on. The only person that benefited from that, the only person was Gypsy. When you look in the house, when you see everything, it was Gypsy who benefited. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am, and you're not. Please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Thanks, guys.